The Titanic is probably the most famous ship ever built, and though during its time it was at a record size, today it doesn't even make the list of the top 10 biggest ships ever built, though many of the ships on this list will soon be dwarfed by much larger ones in the near future. These ships are among the largest in both weight and size to ever grace the majestic seas to date. Starting us off in the 10th position is the BERGE Emperor, which is truly one of the most magnificent vessels to ever travel the seas. This supreme vessel was built in the year 1975 in Japan, and today it takes its position among some of the largest oil tankers ever created. The BERGE Emperor took its first voyage on the 30th of August 1975. Throughout its lifetime, the ship weighed a total of 211,360 tons and had a length of 1,252.69 feet. It had quite a number of different owners during its lifespan. The ship was initially owned by Bergesen D.Y. and Company. It later became the possession of Mostow B.V. in the year 1985, where it underwent a name change to Emperor. The huge tanker met its end on the 30th of March 1986 when it was scrapped. The Oasis of the Sea. Initial construction started in 2007. By 2009, less than 2 years after the work started on it, the ship was making her first voyage. At the time of her construction, she was the largest cruise ship in the world, and that, my friend, is one of the reasons why this ship is in the 9th position on our list. In 2009, the Oasis of the Sea caused quite an uproar when it became the first cruise ship in history to have a capacity record of carrying over 6,000 passengers. The Oasis of the Sea's glory was, however, short-lived, because in December of the year 2010, her sister ship, the Allure of the Seas, came on the scene. And although the Allure of the Seas did not surpass the Oasis of the Seas in terms of size and capacity, they were identical in those aspects. The Oasis of the Sea has a magnificent weight of 225,282 tons and a length of 1,187 feet, which is an exact mirror of the Allure of the Seas in terms of length and weight. Today, the Oasis of the Seas is the first in her class of giants in the cruise ship industry. Joining her is the Allure of the Seas and the Harmony of the Seas. Coming in at number 8 is one of the more honorable mentions on this list for more reasons than one, and this ship is known as the Harmony of the Seas. The Harmony of the Seas is today the largest passenger ship in the world and also the largest passenger ship in history. The Harmony of the Seas undertook her maiden voyage on the 29th of May in the year of 2016. Harmony of the Seas overthrew the Oasis of the Seas and the Allure of the Seas, who before the Harmony of the Seas were the two largest passenger ships in existence. The Harmony of the Seas stands at a staggering 1,188 feet in length, and the ship weighs an astonishing 226,963 tons and has an accommodation capacity of close to 9,000 passengers. The Harmony of the Seas took over $1 billion in expenses and over 32 months to reach completion. Another great addition to this list is the Pioneering Spirit, which made it on this list because of its gross tonnage of 403,342 tons. That significantly surpasses the size of every other vessel on this list that you have been introduced to thus far. The Pioneering Spirit, which was once known as the PIERRE, was constructed at the DSME shipyard in South Korea and took a little over 3 years to reach completion. The Pioneering Spirit was first launched in 2016 and goes down in the record not only for being one of the largest ships to date, but also being the only ship to date to perform the world's heaviest offshore lift, which was accomplished in April of 2017. The Pioneering Spirit has superior wave response behavior due to its massive ship size and is already estimated to significantly reduce the amount of offshore work associated with with platform installation or decommissioning due to its unique lifting capacity. One of the more classic fleets in history is the fleet known as the TI Class Supertankers, that is often referred to as the Fantastic Four. The fleet includes the TI Oceania, the TI Europe, TI Asia, and TI Africa, and is accredited with having solved several problems related to oil cargo transport throughout the seas. The acronym TI stands for Tankers International LLC, which is a crude oil tanker consortium dealer. The 4 TI tankers were initially built for the Greek shipping corporation known as the Hellespont, and at the time of their construction, the ships today known as TI Oceania, TI Europe, TI Asia, and TI Africa were initially named Fairfax, Terra, Alhambra, and Metropolis, respectively. One of the largest tankers of the fleet is the TI Oceania, which has a deadweight tonnage of over 400,000 tons. The construction of the TI Oceania started in 2001, and the ship officially became operational in 2002. TI Oceania is 1,246.72 feet in length, 223.1 feet in width, standing at 111.55 feet high. Another large ship in the TI Class Supertankers fleet is the TI Europe, which weighs a total of 234,006 tons, and like the TI Oceania, the TI Europe started its initial construction in 2001. The TI Europe has a speed of 16.5 knots and is capable of carrying a cargo hauling over 5 million liters of crude oil. Holding down the 5th position on this list is the Esso Atlantic Class Supertankers, which was a fleet of 3 ships that were decommissioned in 1990. The first of the 3 became operational in the year 1977. The first, Esso Atlantic, comes in at a deadweight tonnage of 516,731 tons, and during its time was the largest ship ever built in Japan. Throughout its lifespan, the first Esso Atlantic was primarily used for services between the Middle East and Europe. Along with its magnificent size, the first Esso Atlantic boasted an impressive dimension with a length of approximately 1,384 feet. The second of the 3 Esso Atlantic ships became operational in the year 1998, and the third of the 3 was the only one given the unique name of Capitan Giannis. The other 2 were known as the Esso Atlantic. At number 4 is a ship often referred to as a supertanker and was constructed and officially launched in the year 1976. The Batias was the first vessel of what became the homonymous Batias class of supertankers. Shortly after its construction and commission, the Batias was joined by her sister ships known Bellamaya, PIERRE, and PRELUDE. At the time of the Batias construction, the largest ship known to man was the SEAWISE Giant, and the Batias quickly became the second largest ship in the world with a deadweight tonnage of 553,662 tons. The PIERRE, one of the first ships on this list that will quite possibly still have a position on this list for the next century or two. Today, this ship holds the record of being the 3rd largest ship to have ever been constructed in history. The PIERRE has been out of commission and even scrapped for several decades now, but when it was operational, the PIERRE weighed approximately 555,000 tons and had a length of 1,360 feet. The PIERRE was constructed in the year 1977 by Chantiers de l'Atlantique and was named after a French politician who was also the founder of Elf Aquitaine Oil Industries. The PIERRE had a magnificent 6-year tour on the deep blue before it was eventually disposed of as scrap metal. Sitting comfortably in the 2nd position is the PRELUDE, though the PRELUDE is not the largest ship ever constructed, it is still one of the largest ships in the world currently. The PRELUDE definitely deserves a position on this list. It stands at a startling 1,601 feet in length and at 234 feet in width, and this is the largest ship in terms of length ever constructed. The PRELUDE is often described as longer than the Empire State Building. The PRELUDE takes the number 2 position due to the fact that weight takes precedence on this list, and the PRELUDE weighs close to 600,000 tons, which is extremely close to the size of the first largest ship on this list, though not surpassing it. The ship that takes first place is a ship so massive that it had not 1, not 2, but 5 different names associated with it. The SEAWISE Giant, also known as Happy Giant, Jæger Viking, Mont, and Knock Nevis, was the largest ship ever built in its time, and the SEAWISE Giant is still the largest ship in the record books. During its years of operation, it stood at a magnificent weight of 657,019 tons and a length of 1,504 feet. The SEAWISE Giant took its first voyage in the year 1979 of Sumitomo Heavy Industries and operated under the name SEAWISE Giant. The SEAWISE Giant unfortunately got damaged during the Iraq War and was considered lost until it was bought, salvaged, and repaired by Norman International. This was when the SEAWISE Giant underwent its first name change from the SEAWISE Giant. The now Happy Giant was sold to one Jørgen Jæger in the year 1991, where it underwent its second name change from Happy Giant to Jæger Viking. The now Jæger Viking stayed under the ownership of Jørgen Jæger for over a decade until 2004. In 2004, the ship was bought by First Olsen Tankers, where it underwent its fourth name change from Jæger Viking to Knock Nevis. The SEAWISE Giant saw its fifth and final name change from Knock Nevis to Mont in 2010 when it was purchased by Amber Development. In January of that same year, the SEAWISE Giant made its final voyage, which was to India, where the ship was scrapped. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Have attracted the nickname of the Devil's Pool due to the 305-foot drop from the very edge of the falls. Since it's a popular tourist destination, visitors can often be seen with